So did you build that whole thing around that chord structure? That one chord you were talking about? Was that the
Yeah, it's just started with the...
Okay, well, let's save it for the interview.
Well, I'm
here.
trying to help you out. Obi.
Good to go. Okay. So now I can put all the microphones on in post and line up when I clap on all the tracks, and then they all automatically line up.
There you go.
It's called the, you know when they go, marker?
Oh.
That's what that thing's for.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always thought that was just like for aesthetic.
I know, right? No, it's got a real reason. All right, so we are rolling. I guess we should get started here. So welcome to Fera Media Profiles. I'm your host, Robert Fera, and my guest today is Jeff Colson.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course, Jeff. Thanks for coming on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been doing what you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, I don't know if you guessed yet, but I'm a musician, primarily guitar player. I also am a drummer. I play in two bands. I play for a band called Gunther's Radio and a band called Muddle. And
Which do you play in which?
So I'm the guitar player for Muddle and the drummer for Gunther's. And yeah, I've been doing music since I was about, I don't know, like end of middle school, maybe like 13, 14 years old. I started out on drums, so that was kind of like my gateway into just the music realm and everything. And yeah, my dad kind of got me into it, got me going on just like the 4/4 beat.
So it all starts with the 4/4
yeah,
beat.
Exactly.
And it trickles out from there. Oh, that's this little offbeat I've added.
Yeah.
No, yeah, okay. All right.
Do some fills, yeah.
And how old are you now?
19. I'm 19 years old.
So what, like six years-ish you've been doing
Yeah,
this?
I guess so, yeah.
That's
I never really kept count.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, it kind of just comes and goes like that.
Yeah, it flies by. The time flies by.
So you're in two bands. Have you recorded with these bands? Do you have any music out that people can listen to?
Yeah, actually, I've got two albums out now. I've got an album called Crackhead Behavior with my band Muddle. Yeah, it's a little spicy. And then I got an album called Heartbreak Medication with Gunther's Radio, which just came out last year. So yeah, and I've also got another one in the works with Muddle. Untitled. We don't really have a title for it yet, but
so fresh it hurts.
It's new. Yeah.
Okay. I like that. So, do you want to give us a little taste of some music here? What have you got for us today? I see you got your guitar out and ready.
I got my guitar. I suppose I could play a little Muddle stuff, maybe a little riff off the album. Let's see what we got. This is one off the new Muddle album. It's a little ditty. Was actually written by our bass player. So that was a bass riff before it was even a guitar
Bass
riff.
players unite.
Yeah, shout out to Isaiah Drulinger right there for writing that one.
Yeah, that's tasty. That is only a bass player could come up with something so tasty, in my opinion.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. When I come to the band with songs, I'm like, hey guys. I wrote a song that sounds like Green Day.
All right, but hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with sounding like Green Day because you know they're one of the greats.
One of the greats. I mean, I owe a lot to them, honestly.
You get a lot of inspiration from Green Day. What else did you listen to growing up?
Yeah, I mean, like before I got into music, you know, I would just be listening to like the top 40 charts, like pop music. And
so like before you started playing music, you would just like listen to pop?
Yeah, music to me wasn't. It was obviously something I enjoyed, but it wasn't like a passion yet. It was just, you know, something I liked, and, you know, it wasn't really a driving force. But once I started playing the drums, I was like, okay, I want to learn some songs. So Green Day was like you know, the best to do that with.
Uh-huh.
You know, Nirvana as well, like Dave Grohl, and like Nevermind specifically, which I know is a pretty like everyone started off with that.
But like it's that way for a reason.
Yeah.
It's because it's good. It's easy enough to pick it up. Like if you've got any rhythm at all, you can kind of.
Yeah, right. And like, and I think that's what I love about them as a band too, is like, kind of the first ones to just be like, hey, anyone could play these songs. They're easy, but like anyone could do it. And I just remember got my first drum set when I was like 15. I would come home every day and just put my earbuds in and play that whole album all the way through every time I got home from school. So,
God, your parents must have been pissed.
oh, they hated it. They got it for me. It was their fault.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. Like, if you didn't want to hear me play drums for 4 hours a night,
shouldn't have bought me this.
They got me the drums. Yeah, no, that's. I grew up in a musical household too, and I mean it's the same way.
Yeah.
There's always drums going, and it's
Right.
always like, yeah, like I get it, you want to play, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I'm never one to discourage loud noises. If I'm tired, you know, maybe don't play past the noise ordinance. But,
Oh, of course, respect
like-
the noise ordinance.
and see, the one thing I loved about my dad, though, is he had a drum set. And it was so much better than the ones my parents got me. And I'm not trying to bash on that. That was integral to my
Right, of
music,
course.
you know, upbringing. But he had the nice Pearl.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
remember
Pearl
going,
kit.
dude,
Mm-hmm.
I would go over to his house and play it for like.
Do you have like Yamahas or
6
something?
hours. Oh,
Like
yeah.
a generic drum set?
Yeah, no, it was like Birchwood.
Birchwood?
It's
I'm not
some
I'm
brand
familiar.
that no drummer's ever heard of.
Okay,
before,
all right.
because they just make cheap drums. But yeah, I remember blasting through the snare head in like 2 weeks. Just be like, yep, oh, this is destroyed.
Yeah,
But yeah, because you know I wanted to be Dave Grohl, and you know you got to hit hard.
that's right. If you're not hitting hard, are you really even playing?
Yeah.
If you're not trying to break the skin with
Yeah.
every beat.
If you're not flipping the drumsticks upside down and
I
playing
know,
with
go
the
on,
butt
man.
ends, you know, are you really doing it?
I know, there's that's definitely, it's almost a rite of passage for,
Yeah,
for a
honestly.
drummer.
Destroy some drum heads.
Oh, yeah.
That's your first step.
That's good. That's good stuff. That's
Yeah.
quality advice.
Yeah.
I think all young people should spend a little bit of time destroying some musical
Yeah,
equipment.
right. I remember I heard somewhere it was someone said, whenever I get nervous on stage, I just play harder, and I don't think that's a bad thing. And I wouldn't
It's
disagree
an
with
outlet.
that.
It's an outlet
Yeah.
for, and you get into music in the first place because it's an outlet.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're having those like worries or fears like you normally do in life, and if
Yeah.
your normal escape is music
Yeah.
when you're on stage,
Yeah.
you just channel that fear of being on stage. and-
Exactly.
yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So you perform out that, I'm assuming,
Oh
you're
yeah.
not just a studio band.
Oh yeah. No.
I'm sure this past year with the pandemic was
Yeah.
rough. What was take me back to 2020. Take me back to that early spring
Yeah.
day.
What is this? Right before?
Yeah,
Corona?
right before things shut down. What were you like?
Man,
Were you guys prepping to get into some crazy, summer antics? What was your pandemic
it
experience
sucks because right before the pandemic, everything band-wise was going so well. You know,
like? As it does.
everything was perfect. It was the way it was supposed to be. We were setting up a lot of our shows ourselves. Like we set up a lot of shows at this place called Wastelands. It's a venue. I won't say more about it because it's kind of a vacant area. I'm not gonna put the address out there or anything, but it's a nice.
422.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a kind of just like abandoned area, but we set up a lot of shows there. Like this was right before COVID, I remember.
That's
and-
like some punk shit right there.
Oh yeah, very very punk. Muddle is like my token punk band. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
So what kind of music is Gunther's Radio then?
Gunther's is, I guess, I wouldn't say it's not punk, but it's more on the pop punk side of things.
Okay, so you have like Muddle is your true punk.
True punk, hardcore,
True
like
punk.
Misfits.
You're being
know.
dirty little bastards.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
You're being punks.
Yeah.
And then another one's just like, yeah, we're like a little edgy.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, we put distortion on our
Yeah,
guitars.
But
Okay.
it's cool though because I like what I do with both bands, like equally. Like I love the energy that Muddle has, and just the raw kind of just anger, I guess, is a good, emotion, I'd say, that we portray very well. Our singer, Maggie DeWitt, another shout out, she's an amazing vocalist. She's got really deep, just like intense growls and screams, and she can just drone them out so long, and it's like, I'm a man, and I've got I would say I've got a somewhat deep voice, but I'm like, how do you produce these sounds? Like, she's got an amazing voice and can just like get these really deep screams, which is awesome. And then,
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I like that, like, kind of, just anger and angst that we have and all that. But with Gunther's, I like it's a lot more melodic, and I'm a big sucker for melodic. When people say, like, "Oh, you like punk," and they're like, "You like any noise bands?" I'm like, I don't know if I can listen to just, I appreciate it, but
yeah, I mean, like I try to be a lover. I try to be a lover of all music.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think for me, melody is
key for me. Yeah.
Like if you don't have obviously rhythm.
Oh yeah, rhythm,
melody.
Yeah.
But if you don't have those two things, I feel like you
Yeah.
can't really just have one or the other.
Yeah.
Because like even just all rhythm is one thing. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can have melody in different toms.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? Like,
you can tune your drums.
You
if
can
want.
make melody with rhythm, but if you have no melody, I don't know.
Yeah. But that's the thing is like, again, with Maggie's vocals, like she's got that screamy thing going on, but she also has like a melodic kind of scream too. Like
she can still kind of sing.
Yeah, which I really love about her voice. But yeah, Gunther's is very, I would say the Green Day influence shows in that band. You can really see.
So Gunther's is more Green Day.
Yeah, Green Day. People say,
would be
like,
really mad to hear you call Green Day pop punk. Be like, no, Green Day's punk. Well, I mean,
sorry guys.
Depending on what generation, some people would say Green Day sold out and they're not punk.
I would say Green Day sold out in like
2005,
2004. I might, for all my hardcore punk friends, I'd say they sold out in 1994 when they, but
right, yeah.
But that's the thing that I really like about playing in these two bands is like I get to meet people that are super into just the hardcore, like the noise bands and the goth bands and the really like intense, just punk, just evil. Like even like I know a lot of people like death metal bands and stuff like that. And like you said, I appreciate any kind of music, you know what I mean? Like I'm here for all of it. And I don't think, any kind of organized sound that you make and it's yours and you put your, emotion into it, then there you go. You're a musician, In my eyes, that's how I see it. But
so how do you find your way into these cliques? Is it sort of like you go play a show with one ticket and there's heavier bands on that ticket, and then another ticket has more poppy bands?
Yeah.
Because if Muddle is leading you down the path of like you're meeting all these heavier bands and goth metal and death metal and all that, and then Gunther's Radio is like, oh, these are all the pop punk guys.
Yeah.
How do you get into both worlds? Are they very similar worlds? Are they vastly different? And how do you feel you fit?
Yeah, it's weird because they feel like different worlds. I'll go to like a lot of Muddle shows. Like you see a very wide variety of people, and that's really what I love about them. And yeah, like we've played with some. It's weird though because Muddle, we've played with really hardcore punk bands. Really just like unique bands that just are all DIY, completely DIY, like no support, no crew, no nothing. And then we've played with bands like we played a show with a band Sink the Ship. They're not widely known, but I'd say they're like a pop punk band. So they are different worlds, but they totally collide a lot. You know what I mean? Like people that would come to Muddle shows have even told me like I love your band Gunther's too. You know what I mean? And like.
That's cool. They recognize you from both bands.
Oh yeah,
that's
cool.
pretty
Yeah.
sweet. Like, oh, I saw you last week when you were in Gunther's.
Right. We've even had
that's cool.
Some shows where we've played together before, I think, which is cool.
Like you've had Muddle and Gunther's on the same
same bill.
Oh
yeah.
wow, that's so cool.
Yeah,
that's got to be a busy night. Do you get paid twice?
You know what? I can't even remember, man. The post show is just like.
Say no more.
Yeah, say no more. We don't gotta
we'll
talk
keep
about
it PG because you're 19, and so obviously you just mean you're tired from doing your homework.
Yeah, just going home and grinding out all those lectures, man.
Mm-hmm. That's
it.
Yes.
But yeah, like getting like kind of like introduced to these cliques or groups, it all just comes with playing live shows, just getting out there. Like,
so this must have been a really shit year then, if you couldn't do the one thing that, it seems like it's kind of important if you're in a band to be able to play out.
Yeah, live music is, especially when like, even for big bands, live performance is like a big source of income, and like it's important. Mm-hmm. So it's tough nowadays. But yeah, like we played a lot of places. Like Muddle was really the first band where I had started getting out there and like playing live music. We would play at the Palace. It was some movie theater in like the village of Hamburg, and we would talk to the guy. We're like, hey, can we play music here? He's like, I mean, I guess so.
They have a stage there.
Yeah.
It's like a movie theater with a stage.
Yeah. So there's that. We started playing a lot in Buffalo, like Mohawk Place, Sugar City, which unfortunately, it breaks my heart, closed down. It was like a non-for-profit like music venue, and it was a great place. They had so many good shows. Gunther's and Muddle have played there a lot of times, and that's where we really kind of just like got like a fan base, I guess. Like people would show up to those that, like knew the lyrics to the songs, or would like. All the kids that went to those shows would go so crazy, and that was just my favorite part, is to see other people dancing and like getting into it. That's what I do it for, That's why I do it. It's great.
So, from what I gather, you have a little sneak preview for us, a song from the upcoming Untitled
album.
Muddle album. It's so new, it doesn't even have a title yet.
It's true. We only have 5 tracks recorded, and they're not finished at all. But this one I would say is close to the end.
It's most of the way there?
Yeah, mostly there.
So I'm going to have, we're going to switch. We're going to play that song for you real quick, and we'll come back and we'll get a little more insight on it from Jeff here. So we're going to cut real quick and play you that song.
Awesome.
Black heart, cracked and old. I'm going where I should go. So hate me, blame me, put all your weight on me. I'll try to soften the blow.
So does that song that we just listened to have a title?
Yeah, we were gonna go with Soaked in Red.
Soaked in
That,
Red.
That kind of line that she rings out at the end with that awesome scream. Yeah.
That was awesome. So
Thank you.
You want to tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah. So I kind of wrote that one. I wrote the lyrics for it, and it was just like a really kind of dark time, I guess. It's a really dark kind of just essence to it, you know. And I was like, I want to make this song just like, because we were also discussing like a vibe and kind of like direction with the album, and you know, with just everything going on in the world and like just this country in specific, and you know, just everything that's going on. There's a lot of just anger and like emotion that I think not just that we have, but everybody has. And so I've been trying to pour like my emotion in my writing a lot. And yeah, that one it's got a personal kind of, I got a personal connection with it, but yeah, it's just pretty much I wanted to just write about, you know, what it's like to be kind of just
And that was for the band Muddle, right? That's Muddle, and you play the guitar. So did you?
Yeah.
You wrote the lyrics and you wrote the guitar parts for that one?
Yeah. I wrote that one in full pretty much, and came to the band and was like, "Hey guys, do you like this?"
So do you have like do you write all the music? Does your singer write the songs? Do you write the songs?
It's weird how the writing process works.
Tell me about the writing process.
Yeah. So there's a lot of songs on our early album, Crackhead Behavior. There's a few that I just wrote in full, and that's kind of like what I like to do, is just kind of write everything, figure it out.
Like Pete Townsend?
Yeah, just come to the band and be like, hey guys, so this is how it goes. But it's also great too because our drummer, Ethan Childs, I think I shouted everyone out now.
Is that everyone?
I should be
anyone
everybody.
else? Should we take it from the top just to make sure we got all the shout outs?
I think that's Muddle.
Right.
But yeah, he writes a lot of material. He writes a lot of songs too on the guitar, and comes to me and is like, what we usually do is I'll hop on the drums and play it with him, so we get just an idea of what the song's gonna sound like.
And he's the other guitarist?
No, he plays the drums in the band.
So you get on the drums and he gets on guitar.
Yeah, we do a little switch. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It is, yeah.
That's got to be a crazy dynamic, because I'm sure you hear things differently in the way that you perceive the drums to sound versus your actual drummer will probably, you know, have a different spice to it.
Yeah, we got a riff. Actually, I played for you that we're working on.
Give us a taste.
And that one, our drummer came to us with that and was like, so I want to do like a and that's got like
So the drummer's writing lead parts
Yeah.
for what kind of drumming he
Yeah,
wants to.
right.
That's crazy.
And it makes sense. You think it's like a really rhythm-driven kind of riff. And I remember it took me so long to pick up that rhythm and really get like in the feel of it. Yeah, because you know, with most pop punk bands, you're kind of just playing in 4/4, playing as fast as you can, or just like easy time signatures. And that was the first time we like did like a weird kind of like hit-based like rhythm type thing.
But it was probably a little bit easier for someone like you coming from a background of drums. Like when he was like, well, the rhythm is this, and he showed you.
That's true.
It was probably easier for you to go, oh, okay.
Yeah, once he hopped on those drums, it was kind of easier to visualize it and everything. But yeah, it's great because he writes stuff. And then the other one, our bass player wrote that one. And so each song is just a different...
Everybody kind of comes to it with a little bit of their own taste. What is it like writing a song for someone else to perform? Like you said you wrote the lyrics to that song that you played for us, but you have the singer sing them.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to you? Are you consciously aware of like, well, I won't be singing this,
Yeah.
the singer will be, or are you just thinking it's your song and then however they interpret it, or do you have finer points than that?
It's weird because when I write stuff with lyrics and stuff, I usually try to sing them myself, and a lot of times I'll try and sing them for her to try, show her how it goes. But a lot of times I find myself being like playing the melody on the guitar, like, and she kind of picks up on that really well. Yeah, all I got to do is play that little lick, and then she knows. But it is weird too because I write. It's hard to find like the right range for her voice versus my voice, and
right.
that
you have
is
to imagine where her vocal talents lie versus where you're at.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's a different.
We've already run into some problems where like we're covering songs or writing stuff, and it's just too low for her voice and stuff like that. But yeah, that's probably on me because I'm like, sing this. It's in like D standard. I don't know. But she is really good at just picking up on my ideas and anytime I come to her with like, so this is the vocal melody, I'll always let everyone have their own creative freedom to add whatever they want. You know what I mean? And like when our bass player came to us with that one riff, it was just like it was like just it repeated, and I was like, let's add that little spicy note in there. Yeah. And then he was like, yo, isn't that Phrygian mode? I'm like, I don't know, man. It just sounds cool. And that's cool too because he knows a lot about theory and stuff and scale theory, and that's what I appreciate.
You've got someone who's actually educated in the band. That's impressive.
I got someone there that can tell me what I just did. Because to me, I'm like,
yeah, I remember playing with guitarists who'd be like, dude, it's just an arpeggio. And I'd be like, right.
Right on, dude.
Can you tell me what the notes in the arpeggio are? Because I can figure it out, but like...
Yeah, with guitar, it's like, I'm more of a shape-oriented guy, like shapes of scales.
Right, you visualize like finger placements almost.
Yeah,
like you see the frets as like this finger, this finger, this finger.
Exactly.
This finger.
I couldn't really tell you every note.
Right, but I know exactly. Yeah, I'm the same way, and I know a lot of guys who are more like, I guess, numerically based.
Yeah.
The guitarist in my band, when I was in a band, he could read any tab that existed. He was like, "Oh, I just look at the numbers. It's like cheating. They're just numbers." And I'm like,
Yeah.
That makes it exponentially harder for me when there's numbers involved.
Dude, yeah, when you're bringing numbers into
I'm
it.
good at music, not math. So I'm in this area because I can't look at numbers.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, they can see them in their mind.
Oof,
like
that's it's never been my forte. But that's good stuff though. I think this is probably going to be a good enough place to wrap things up. Where can people follow you and hear your music and find out more about your band?
Yeah, so for Gunther's Radio, also didn't shout those guys out. John Fera and Parker Walters are my guys out in Gunther's Radio. So we've got our music and stuff up on, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much anywhere you can stream music. Just look up Gunther's Radio. Heartbreak Medication is the name of the album if you want to check it out. It just came out. And then GunthersRadio.official on Instagram and also Facebook. We're, we don't really go on Facebook a whole lot. We probably should, I'll be honest, all you Facebook users out there. Sorry about that. But, Instagram is like our main thing. And then Muddle, same thing. We have a Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, and SoundCloud too. If you want to make a donation, it's greatly appreciated. Muddle and then official Muddle on Instagram, and just anyone that wants to check out our stuff, it's good. It's good for us. You know, we could use the help, especially now nowadays.
Yeah, with the way things are going. Well, I hope to be able to go and see you guys out live
Yeah,
in the future. I think we're heading in that direction.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
Hopefully, I'll be able to shoot some of
Yeah.
your shows
A
there.
little live footage, that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Jeff, for
Yeah,
coming on. I
of
really
course.
appreciate you coming out and talking with us.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what you bring to the table. And
Yeah, I
where you're
appreciate
gonna be
you
in the
having
future.
me. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, man. No problem.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching, everyone. This has been Fera Media Profiles. Have a good one.